te help asseblief.
To assist us with the funding. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are now on this side. Can we come this side? Okay, yes. There's this one, and then that. Okay.
President, met jou hele kabinet. Ngifuna ukuthi tata, ngumntanakho, ngisemncinci. Kom ek praat Afrikaans. Van ons is al in hulle se 50, van ons is al ons se 40, van ons is al by aftree om af te gaan om by die huis te gaan sit. En sonder die CHW's kan die regering niks maak nie. Want ons is 'n helpende hand vir Department of Health. 2018, ons word nog vertel van die resolution of 2018. En word het mis toe sê DHO, hulle ons moet vir 'n jaar, 3 jaar kans gee, dat hulle se planwerk in orde kry. Die 3 jaar kontrak is mos nou al verby from 2018. Ons is nou by 2022. Ons is single parents. Ons sif die gemeenskap wat vandag hier so sit. Baie van hulle ken ons. Ons trotseer winde, ons trotseer reënde en Upington is baie warm. Even mense wat in die kantore sit, as dit campaigns is, hulle skweel eers, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Nou, ons moet uitgaan with the stipend wat ons kry. Ons het 'n persaalnommer. Ja, it's fine. As dit was mooi, want ons was bly toe die vorige MEC vir ons die persaalnommers kom gee. Na die persaalnommers, dololo. Hier sit ons vandag nog steeds. Onze kinders kan nie skool kry om verder te loop studeer en is vasie. Ons kan nie aansoeke doen vir ander enige werk, 'n kontrak of 'n ander ding nie. Persaalnommer skop uit. Die persaalnommer skop uit by SARS. Ons kry hierdie watse ding van SARS ook word ook vir Koreans ook af. En ons paaie verskil. Van ons word gesê is 12,000, van ons word gesê is 8.5 en ons kry nou 4,000 en with some rands. Maar wat ek vandag kom vra vir die president, ek het gesê ons wil nie met die MEC praat nie. Van die MEC het al vele male memorandums gekry. Utata next to you, he knows. And last in August, we were there at the Tulu House or whatever, but in the union buildings. Then we marched there, we wanted you, but we didn't get you. So someone else come and take the memorandum that we wanted you to have. Tata, Gauteng is permanent. Gauteng is permanent. If we ask them, how come that Gauteng is permanent, Tina, we are not. En ons is mos in Suid-Afrika dan nie. Ons is mos in 'n land. Maar hoekom is Gauteng permanent en ons is nie? Daar was die epidemic van HIV and AIDS. Ons het ingeval without a stipend. Ons het die regering gehelp om vir HIV and AIDS te fight. HIV and AIDS het ons gefight and they have fight it with us. Ons het nie gewaarig, ons het nie gestigmatiseer nie, ons het nie gewaarig, ons het nie gewaarig van TB nie, van ons mense is dood van meningitis. Ons het die beskerming gehad, but we didn't, ons doen dit vir ons mens, van ons huishoudings is daar mense wat HIV en AIDS het. HIV is nou nie meer, it's a chronic disease, it's chronic. Ons gaan nou by COVID, yet again. You guys needed our help, our assistance. We got trainings in the field to come and to do the screening without any protecting gear. Now myself, I had 2 times COVID. Some of my colleagues said I have cheated that. I had 2 times COVID. And each and every year, by the grace of God, I have to ask, what will the next effect of COVID have on me the other year? Ek is in vrees bevange. Because every time, ek is in 'n kalsieklik soos ek hier so staan. Ek kom van 'n hart af, ek vind baie goed af. Nou het ek constantly headaches. By die werk, Onze in charge het 'n probleem van 'n hospitaal in. Ek slaap in die hospitaal vir 2 weke. But it's not about me. It's about the woman. Because most of us wat die werk doen is vroue. Wat net die salarisse verdien. Maar die regering fail ons. Die regering meen julle fail ons. Ek is baie verhard as ek moet sê. I want to be honest. Ek is baie verhard vir die regering. Want julle kyk hier in ons. Tata, you know hoe het Gauteng permanent geraak. Sorry to show you like that. Sorry pa. You know who's Gauteng permanent. Ek wil nie uitbrei nie, but you know. And here in the Northern Cape, so far is ons maar nog obedient. Ons is lenient. Ons buig. Whenever.
Thank you.
No, is te veel man.
Ja,
man. Please. Please. Unless you guys said me and the president and who put it next to him must have our private discussion so that he can hear our pain. This thing is very painful. Onze kinders kan nie leer nie. Onze kinders kan ons nie veld toe vat nie van is 'n R4,000. Mense, is dit reg? Die leierskap wat hier so sit. Die MEC's en die wie goed, is dit reg? Kan dit reg is? Ons lewe van die hand na die mond toe. Jy vat hy 4,000, what is the 4,000? What is the 4,000 really? What is the 4,000? Ons is dankbaar. Ons sê dankie. Ons word gesê jy moet dankbaar is, jy kan op meel koop, want daar is wat jy het nie. Kan jy sulke antwoorde kry? Ons het gehelp met die COVID, ons het gehelp met HIV en AIDS, daar gaan weer siekte kom. How many shades W's has passed on from COVID? Word het geken? Nee. Is there a memorial service for them? No. Is there a flower for them? No. Is there any benefits when they're on the ground for their children? We got nothing, not even a thank you. Many of the CHW's het ingestap in die werk en in die klinieken, toe loop val hulle dood. Maar is daar iets gehou? Niks. Daar is niks gehou. Niemand is baie, ons is hier president. Asseblief, jou cela. Please, a big place. Look into it, laat ons geabsorb word with the thing that utata.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Enkosi kakhulu. Can we give to the next person there? Thank you. Is the last one from David Kruiper. The last one from David Kruiper.
MEC. Which one?
The one with the blue cap.
Goedemiddag, baie dankie. Ek groet die president, premier en die kabinet in die mooie naam van die Here. My naam is leraar Jacobus Lou. Amen. 2018 verloor ek my werk by Dairy Mate en ek gaan na David Kruiper toe gaan gooi my CV in. En terwyl ek my CV ingooi, besluit ek nee maar die Here sal die deur van my oopmaak. Ek is 'n man wat nie rook en drink nie. Maar 2 weke gaan verby, ek gaan terug, ek gaan doen navraag. Een van my vriende sê vir my, nee wat, Loutjie, dit sal nie help nie. As jy nie in die politiek behoort nie, sal jy nie hier werk kry nie. Jou CV lê al by die tip. Ek sê, hoe sê jy man? Hy sê, ja nee, jou CV lê al by die tip. Ok, die tweede punt van my, wat so hartseer is, as ons kom by die tax shops, en ons kom vir belangrike items om te koop, dan hoor ons, nee, die eienaar gaan nou kom, hy is gauw besig met iemand. En as die eienaar uitkom, dan kom hy met die tik, of hy kom met die okkerpijp koole, of hy kom met die geure van die okkerpijp, en hy wat belangrike ding koop, soos koffie en suiker, moet nou eers wacht. Jy moet nou terugstaan, dat hierdie man nou eers klaar gebehandel word. Julle moet asseblief vir ons kyk na hierdie tax shops in Upington. Baie dankie. En die tweede, die laaste punt is my ou mense. As ek by die ou mense kom, kry ek baie seer van, dit is die mense wat altyd in 'n besigheidplek moet terugstaan. Dis die mense wat altyd moet maar terugstaan en sê, nee, gaan julle maar eers voor. Ons moet kyk na ons mense wat in baie groter jare is, en baie dankie, mag die Here seën. Amen.
Baie dankie. Ons is nou klaar met David Kruiper se 5. Ons gaan nou na Kai Gariep. Kai Gariep se 5 hande. Ons is by Kai Gariep. Kai Gariep. Let me see hands of Kai Garib. Kai Garib. One. Here's the one of Kai Garib. Daar is nummer 2, daar achter wat zo spring. Kai Garib. Daar is nummer 3. Van Kai Garib. Daar is nummer 4. Kan ons daar die 4 geleentheid gee van Kai Garib? Ons sal weer vir David Kruiper gee. Ons nou by Kai Garib. Kai Garib. Kai Garib. Okay. Nummer 1. Kan ons praat? Kai Garib.
Mike, please.
Baie dankie vir die geleentheid. Baie dankie vir die geleentheid wat ek kry. Ek is van Kai Garib, ek is 'n military veteran van Kai Garib. Ek praat in verband met Kai Garib military veterans. Ek wil net die president vra, wat het geword van die military veterans van Kai Garib se benefit? Ons kry geen benefit van die military veterans nie. Ons is nou 6 huise gebou, maar in die ZF en Gouwstreek is 6 huise. Hier lê 4 in Upington, wat nog 16 wat nog nie gebou is nie. Military veterans word nie gehoor in Kai Garib nie. Ek het nou 2-3 weke verskeie briewe na die burgemeester, na die speaker toegeskryf. Niks gebeur nie. Ons gaan tot by die munisipaliteit. Daar's niemand wat ons kan help in verband military veterans nie. Ons is die military veterans wat gebeklei het vir hierdie aarde. Ons het ons ouers, ons vrouens, ons kinders agtergelaat om te gaan beklei vir hierdie Suid-Afrika. Maar ons word nie geluister nie. Ons sal ook weet wat het geword van ons pensioen. Ons military veterans sit honger. Ons medies, ons moet uit Upington en hike om in 8 saai kom dokter te sien. Dan as ons daar kom, dan is die dokter al geonttrek, want ons is te laat. Ons moet van ver afkom om dokter te kom sien. As military veterans. So ek vra asseblief, president, die military veterans, die ou veterane, Eerste Wêreld, Tweede Wêreldoorlog, net die veterane, as honger. Hulle is honger, hulle is dors. Ek vra asseblief, daarna moet gekyk word. Baie dankie.
Thank you very much. Number 2, Kai Garib. Okay. Can we just stick to 2 issues, please? Just 2 issues.
Halleluja. Ek is 'n welverdiende sondaar, gered deur die genadehand van die Here. Jy weet, ek wil net die waarheid praat vanmiddag. I just want to speak the truth. Here comes David Mabuza there to Plankeni in Blauskop, where the people are very, very, very poor. In the time of the birthday of the ANC. Here he says, township, dorpsstichting and all this stuff. No houses until today. We are still raining wet. The minister should have come there to Plankeni this week. But because of the president that being here, now the minister was removed, and the people in the community, corruptive leadership without the passion for the poorest of the poor. They are there for some money to make some pay, but they don't care about the people. Where is the passion of the community leaders? There's nothing wrong with the name ANC, but corruptive leadership enriching themselves, don't care for other people. It is wrong. You are speaking to the national provincial leader of Spectrum National Party, and my name is Larry Hemner. Bring Plankeni's houses with immediate effect or else.
Thank you very much. The housing issue. Where's number 3? Number 3. There's number 3. The white cap. Yes.
I thank you for the opportunity. My name is Kutsia. I'm from Kakamas. The issues I want to talk about is the Kakamas Water Users Association. I did have an engagement with the Premier, Dr. Somani Soul, at my house. So we discussed the issues. We were 20 dismissed employees.
Sorry. Can you just give your name?
My name is Henry Kutsia from Kakamas.
Henry Kutsia from Kakamas. Okay.
Kaiharip. I am part of 20 dismissed employees. We were dismissed in 2017. We participated in an unprotected strike. So on 12 December 2017, our employer Kakamas Water Users Association dismissed all 20 of us. So what happened, we referred it to the CCMA. After that, it ended up at the labor court. And what happened in 2016 till 2020, there was reports released from the Department of Water and Sanitation. The first report was released in 2018, and it stated that the dismissed employees must be reinstated with immediate effect. That report was issued by the Minister Gugulen Conti. The second report was issued by Minister Lindiwe Sisulu in 2020. It also stated that the board must be dissolved in Kakamas and the dismissed employees must be reinstated. And up until today, nothing happened. 2020, the current minister of the Department of Water and Sanitation, Minister Zenzo, sent a directive to Kakamas Water Users Association, who also stated in the recommendations that all 20 dismissed employees must be reinstated with immediate effect and the board must be dissolved. Up until today, nothing happened. Here with me, I have the 2 reports and the directive also. So, my question is, implementation, when will it happen? This is the only question that I have for the Department of Water and Sanitation. I thank you.
Mike,
Yes, number 3, on my left-hand side. Thank you.
Molweni, igama lam ndingusandiswa Mvumvu. This is for the President and the Premier. Mr. President, umama wam went to exile in 1975. She's here from the Northern Cape. Umama wam wasweleka 1999. What happens, umama wam was in exile. She went to Freedom Mahlangu College. Even I was also born in exile. The very sad part is, Mr. President, oko ndizamunika abantu information kamama. Nobody is coming back with me with an info. Ndihlelile history kamama. Abantu, their names are over estratweni. People have got tombstones. People have been celebrated. But mna engathi ndihleli njenge information. Ndihleli with every evidence. But umama went to exile. Umama strive for this freedom. But today it seems like andihoyekanga. Ndifuna ubuza namhlanje kumbutho walapha kweNorthern Cape. Kutheni ndizawuhlala nehistory kamama wam? Nobody ondihoyileyo. Mr. President, ndisokole mna njenime apha. Level 3 social development. Ngonhleli apha. Umama wam went to exile, but today I can recognize one. 1975, I've got it in black and white. Mla ndizalelwe khona. Umama wam was deployed in Germany by the very ANC. She came back in 1992. And then in 2013, I got a chance to meet with Uvuyiswa Thomas, where she wrote a biography about umama wam. And I got to meet Opitz Olibua, who were also in exile that time. Since then, ndiyazama. The very same organization that my mother worked for. Ndibacenge ukubana cala lindiveni. Nansi into information, but nobody's doing anything. I've been knocking to many doors. Ndiyacela President, I am knocking on your door today. Ndicela undive. Let my mother's history not go nje. Let my children also know what my mother strived for. It's fine if I'm hungry today. But abantwana bam, let them eat ifruits zikamakhulu wabo. Enkosi.
Dis die laaste persoon van Kai Gariep, nummer 5.
O, okay.
Baie dankie. Luister mense, al die ander mense wat nou nie kans kry nie, daar is 'n tafel op die linkerkant. Jy kan jou sakke daar gaan afgee. Jy kan jou complaints daar by die tafel gaan afgee. Baie dankie. Kan nie praat, juffrou.
Goeiemiddag almal, agbare president en premier. Ek is Leni Kutsie en ek wil vandag 'n lansie breek en 'n pleidooi rig vir ons plaaswerkers. Ek weet nie hoeveel plaaswerkers is vandag hier nie, maar hulle is ook die mense wat kos op ons tafel sit, want hulle werk op die landerye by die kommersiële boere. En dit is ook hulle wat altyd aan die kortste end trek. Dit is die vroue wat seisonale werk doen gedurende die oestyd. Dan het hulle net 'n inkomste vir 3 maande. En dan is hulle afhanklik van hulle se kindertoelaag. So die pleidooi wat ons vanmiddag wil rig, is dat ons plaaswerkers werk hulle lewe lank op die plase. En as hulle oud is, hulle is sieklik, dan word hulle van die plase afgesit. Dan moet hulle gaan bly in 'n sinkhuis. Dan moet hulle gaan bly in 'n shanty. Maar hy sy lewe lank het hy gewerk vir die kommersiële boer. En dan is daar nie eers 'n vergoeding vir die plaaswerker nie. Dit is ons ouers wat gewerk het en dan kom hulle se kinders en hulle se kinders. Met ander woorde, die siklus gaan aan. En ek werk vir die organisasie Women on Farms Project. En ek wil vandag vra, president en premier, kan ons nie vir ons seisonale werkers ten minste 'n income grant gee, dat hulle nie gedurende die tyd wat hulle nie werk nie, dat hulle moet so swaar kry. Women on Farms support die 350, die COVID fund het ons mense baie gehelp. Maar nou is daar nie meer vir hulle 'n inkomste nie, so hulle kry van vooraf swaar. Wat ons ook vra is, gee vir hulle 1 woman, 1 hectare, dat hulle grond het om hulle eie groente te verbou, want dit sal maak dat hulle nie meer honger kry nie. Die laaste, maar nie die minste nie. Asseblief, ons agbare premier en president, laat ons plaaswerkers, hulle kom uit Kuruman uit, hulle kom uit verskillende provinsies uit, maar ek kan vir u vandag sê, dat wanneer hulle hier kom om te kom werk, dan word hulle se dignity aangetas, want hulle moet in compounds gaan bly, waar hulle 7, 10, 11, 12 in 1 kamer slaap. Laat ons na daardie goed kyk. Hulle kom vir 'n inkomste, maar dan word hulle se dignity totally afgebreek. Baie dankie.
Thank you very much. Mense, ons beweeg nou na Tsansabane toe. Ons beweeg nou na die mense van Tsansabane toe. Ek herhaal weer ons WhatsApp-lyn. Mense wat hulle se issues wil op die WhatsApp deurgee, ons WhatsApp-lyn is oop. 064 887 5050. It's our WhatsApp line where you can report your issues. Tsansabane 1 2. Tsansabane 1 2. 3 4 5. Right. Those are the 5. Okay. Baie dankie, ons kan begin.
Nou, all the pro is observed. Aan die president, ons is blij dat ons u kan ontvang in die Noord-Kaap. Gister was u voor die deur, maar net nie in die huisie. En Tsansabanse mense sê, ek moet aan u die boodskap gee. Ons verwag vir u in Tsansaban. my eerste punt is, laas week in Saterdag het ons 'n geweldige accident gehad, waar die drugdealer die jongman aan die kar gesleep het en wil opgehang het. En ons het na die drugdealer se huis toe gegaan en ons het vir hom gesê, vandag pak jou goed en trek verreg. Meneer die president, ons in Postmasburg, die polisie, is op die payroll van die drugdealer. As ons hulp wil hê, dan moet ons Upington skakel, sodat Upington polisie kan deurstuur na Chanseban of vir ons te kom help met die drugdealers. Meneer die president, ons het 'n geweldige issue in Postmasburg en die gemeenskap Sondag besluit. Ons gaan Postmasburg se polisiestasie gaan ons afblok, ons gaan sy deur toesluit. Meneer die president in Postmasburg het ons nie 'n hospitaal nie. Ons hospitaal lê plat. Ons het nie 'n ambulansie. Meneer die president, ons in Postmasburg, ons face net corruption. Korrupte amptenare is daar. Die sonpanele wat iets gister was, hulle doen niks toe die gemeenskap. 40 myne rondom en binne Postmasburg. Geen samewerking in Postmasburg. Die ou president, meneer Nelson Mandela, sy visie was better life for all. Daar in Postmasburg bly die mense in shanties. Die rykes bly in huise. Die rykes kry die RTP grond en daarop bou hulle teildakhuise. En die man wat sit in poverty kan nie eers 'n shanty oprig nie, want hy sit in poverty. Meneer die president, kyk tog na corruption in die land. Better life for all.
Thank you. Better life for all. Thank you very much. A better life for all. Thank you very much. Number 2. Tsantsabane number 2. Tsantsabane number 2.
I greet the president and the cabinet. I'm very emotional. I want to start with municipality. I'm the one.
Can you please give us your name?
I'm Miss Bartman, a retired teacher from Pabalelo High School.
Miss Bartman, a retired teacher from Pabalelo. Yes. Thank you.
My name, everybody's facing me. Me, I let people chased away from municipality. I only know of one person, but it's painful.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
If I'm killed, you will remember.
Just wait. We said we are giving to the people of Tsantsabane. Papalelo is in David Kraper. We'll come back to you, ma'am. We'll come back to you. Can we just finish Tsantsabane? Can we just finish Tsantsabane? We'll come back to you. Come, Tsantsabane.
Dumela. Ke na Catherine Seboko. Ke tswa Tsantsabane. Ke wela mo masipale wa Tsantsabane ke tswa Groenwater. Sale ke le volunteer la ANC ke na le 16 years. No yana ke tsama ke mo di jare ke mo ke tsama mo di 40C. Ha ke bereke. Ke bereka CWP ke pe ya 800 rand ke na le go gaka ke na le bana ke yone mereko o re o kry-ang yaka di-volunteer tsa ANC ke dula ko Grievances ga rena ditsela ga rena re sokola ka metsi sekolo sa rona sa wela se ha pula di nele so ga re itse gore re itsewe hela ka letsatsi la di-vote ha go voting ke gone re itseweng ko Grievances ha godimo ga mowa ke rona re dirang gore what no yana re tswa what 3 re wela ka demarcation re be re ya what 1 ke rona re dirang gore altate what ya rona e kry-e di-vote ka lebaka la Grievances maar ga re tselwe tlhogong ra go tsela tlhogong gape ka di-vote ha di-vote di semana go heta ga go nopo o wariyang gore go diragalang ka Grievances so presidente le mafapha a teng ano ha ke ne ke kopa gore re tseleng tlhogong tsontse lo re tsela tlhogong ka letsatsi la di-vote le sa gore tsela tlhogong ha go na le sengwe lo batla gore re taboge come 2024 ke sho gore councilor o tla go pagama ke eno tla ya go itirelang di-door to door ko Grievances thank you
man this side here a number yeah thank you ma.
Goeiemiddag allemaal communities van verschillende districten. Ik groet die president, die ministers, die speakers, die meiers en allemaal wat die in onze teenwoordigheid is. Ik is Amanda Morebudi, ik is van Tsansabani. In Tsansabani, als vrouwen zit ons met een groot probleem, als een dilemma. Behuizing is, ons het die behuizing nie, van ons allemaal bly in shanties en ons paaie is baie lelijk. En selfs toilets, ons gebruik nog steeds die buckets, die emmers, wat ons gebruik om te gaan gooi ons dit uit buiten. So asseblief die president, minister van behuizing, kyk na ons in Tsansabani. En dan is het ons geen RDP-huise. RDP-huise was nog gebouw, nog in die 90s. In die 2000s in die millennium het ons nooit huise gekry nie. En dan is het die werkskeping. Ek hoor allemaal praat van die myne, wel genoeg Bosmansburg het die meeste myne in die Noordkap. Bosmansburg se jeug sit sonder werke, wat baie verkeerd is. Mense kinders kom van buite, hulle het die geleerdheid, die opportunities met die sertifikate waarvan Bosmansburg se kinders dit nie het nie. Dis hoekom onze kinders sit sonder, hulle sit met matriek, maar hulle kan by geen myne inkom nie. As gevolg van dit, asseblief die president, laat ons kinders learnerships kry van die myne wat rondom Bosmansburg is, terselfde tyd Redstone ook. En dan het ons 'n probleem in Bosmansburg by gesondheid. Ons hospitaal is in 'n toestand. Waar het ons gesien as jy in die hospitaal ingaan, dat is toegemaak met kaartbokse. Die vensters is toegemaak met kaartbokse. Ons kliniek dieselfde. Die suster van die kliniek bespreek die patiënt se siekte met die buitemense. Baie vergeet. Die hospitaal dieselfde, jy gaan met 'n probleem hospitaal toe, 'n klein bietjie kort asem, dan word jy COVID sal toegestoot. Hulle het die toets of results, jy het COVID. Baie vergeet, what is wrong? En my laaste punt is, die polisiestasie, is reeds al daarvan gepraat, maar ek het het opgeskryf. Onze polisiestasie beteken niks vir ons in Bosmansburg. Hy moet toegemaak word. Dan gaan ons as die gemeenskap van Bosmansburg ons eie battles fight. As die polisie nie vir ons kan ondersteun nie, hoekom moet daar 'n polisiestasie is? As die pops van Kimberley, Upington of Bloemfontein moet kom om Bosmansburg se polisie te gaan assist, waaroor is hulle daar? Baie dankie.
Baie dankie, is die laaste, moeder is die laaste een. Moeder is die, moeder, ja, moeder.
Dumelang bagaetsho, ke nna Betty Pitso go tswa Postmansburg. Betty Pitso, wa ntseba. Ya no ke tla go bua Setswana ka gone go na le bagolo ba ba sa tlhaloganyeng English of Afrikaans ba ga tsona maemo a ka ke le teng ha ANC ke rata tota I'm active mo ANC I'm very strong ANC ga ke batle ANC wa ba ga tsho ANC ya rona yawa yawa ANC ya rona ke ne kopa tsolang ka president le premier ba le teng ba ga tsho bua le ma ANC ba emise ANC ka gone ANC e ule mo South Africa ya rona en gape se teng bana ba rona ba ba tlhokang tiro bana ba rona ba di volunteer nna ke hot committee nna wa bona ke tshwetse jang mara ke batle ANC wela hatse di hot committee tse di tla wela hatse di goti bana ba rona ba tla dula ba sa volunteer ba gatso ANC tlile go wa mo South Africa ikano ba gatso nna ke ne kopa presidente ka re bereka mo fluru re sebetle bana ba rona le bone ba kry mmereko o siameng bana ba rona ba dusi ba dirisa di drugs re be blame bana ka gone bana bone ga ba kry opportunity kai le nna ke batla opportunity president ke batla opportunity ke na le 63 marna ke batla opportunity ya go tswa 1994 ke direla ANC and 90 ke wela hatsi ke digela ANC hatsi president gompieno re ntse di tlagte mo go wena go bane o na le sekhuku ka kakaretso ya le hatsi se re kukwetseng gore le wena o ne motlotlo jane ko re tla go diga mara gantsi tla re go diga di volunteer ba gaetso ba ne mmereko gore bana ba ele mo bitse obstan le bone ba bereke ba tlhokomele di councilora tsa bone ba tlhokomele di mayor tsa bone nna se teng ke batla le ya ka ya bohelo president ke ne kopa gore di volunteer di tselo tlhogong bana ba ba bereka mo tsatsi.
Thank you, ma. Thank you very much. The last one from Tsantsabane, mother with the me, yeah, is the last one from Tsantsabane, and we'll go to Taste. We'll go to Taste. We are going to Taste.
She's not staying in Tsantsabane.
Tsantsabane. Tsantsabane, the last one. Last one from Tsantsabane.
Hello, Amal. Regina Isaacs van Tsantsabane, Bosensburg. Mr. President, ek het nie baie om te sê nie. Maar as ek nou praat van Tsantsabane, wil ek hier reg uitrekkie. Ons volunteer door to door every day. Maar as het kwam by werkskepping, dan kry ons EPWP, wat net vir 3 maande is. En after 3 months ons sit weer, vir elke 5 jaar bly ons net EPWP, ons het kinders, en by die myne het ons 'n probleem, want education, ons is ouers wat oor die 35 jaar is, maar as jy hoor die myne praat van is, van 18 tot 35, jy kan nie apply en jy nie kwalifikasies het nie, maar ons het hande wat ons kan voorwerk, dat is die tweede punt. Derde punt, ek bly in Tsantsabane, Maranteng het ons 'n groot probleem. Die plek is geontwikkel, hy was die eerste plek in Bosensburg, toe word het vir Pousdien, Newtown, Pichok gemaak, maar as ons sien, hoe lyk Maranteng, ons sit tussen neppies, ons vullis word nie opgetel nie, ons het 'n waterkrisis, wat ons groot mense nie eens water kry nie, ons lokasie is so, Munisipaliteitse werkers tel ons vullis opie. Even munisipaliteitse werkers is elke dag dronk by die werk, waarvan ons goed te sien. En ons as volunteers moet elke tydjie uitgaan na die gemeenskap toe, om te sê, vout vir ANC, vir 'n beter lewe. Dan kry ons die vullis in ons gesigte, waarvan groot mense ons met die neppies gooi. Ons het nie 'n straat in Maranteng nie, ons het nie straatname nie, ons het niks in Maranteng nie. Ons lewe is heel agteruit. As ek dink, wat vir jaar het ons nog 'n community meeting gehad. Ons het eens meetings in Maranteng waar ons kan die kanselaars of die meier sê, wat is 'n branchleader? Ons branchleaders by die top 5 van die branches word nie eens gerecogniseerd nie. Dat is die tweede probleem wat ons het. Ons kan nie in Pansberg voorbij dat ons niks sien. Ek het 'n kind op college. Hy het nie eens 'n stappunt wat ek kry by die college nie. Ek het al gevra vir 'n regte werk. Dan word ek gesê omdat ek die kwalifikasies het, ek kan ek nie werk kry nie. Mr. President, ek wil graag hê ons moet nie net hier draai nie. Ek wil graag hê jy moet Pansberg toe kom. En vir Pansberg kom sien hoe lyk ons plek. Ons plek is uit mekaar uit. Daar's groot mense wat in shanties bly wat lek. Ek het elke dag moet ek tussen mense, ons het sotsies. Daar's RDP's huise waarvan sotsies in bly waar die groot mense gesterf het van my huis.
Baie dankie, suster.
Ons het klomp
Baie
probleem.
dankie. Baie dankie. Right. We are now in Kuis municipality. Number 1 come. There's number 1 Kuis. Grobler's Hoop Kuis. There's number 1. Kuis. Abantu abahlala Grobler's Hoop. Okay, there's number 1. Just stand there. Number 2. Kuis. Number 3. There the check. Kuis. Kuis. Number 4. Anyone from Grobler's Hoop area? Kuis. Number 5. Okay, in that order, only those 5. Thank you very much.
All protocol observed. The Premier, Mr. President, I'm Elaine Nicolette Krotz. I think the President knows me, and the Premier know me very well, and all of the cabinet, the MECs and everyone. I'm coming from Wegdraai, Mr. President, a small rural area in the Kuis sub-region. My first point I want to complain about is health. All of the facilities, we don't have vehicles there. We are using 1 ambulance. Our people is dying here. Our police station use 1 bakkie for all the complaints in this area. And my second problem is, Mr. President, our children go to universities, then come back, and then they sit at home. Because when they are applying for jobs, they want experience. Where will they get experience? Your age restriction is 35. We don't get work. At 35, we still don't have work. Me, I get my first work at 32. We people in the schema, we're suffering. We don't have skills. We have the solar panels there. But first of all, you employ people from other provinces to come and work there. My main problem, Mr. Premier, is our municipality. It's going downstairs day by day. Day by day, there's no service delivery. What is the problem, Mr. President, that you can't put that municipality under administration? And then I come to me, myself, and I'm the ANC, I breathe ANC. For 42 years, I'm a volunteer of the ANC. And I just stay a volunteer of the ANC. I mark myself till I die, a member of the ANC. I want you to take me serious and take me into your cabinet. I thank you.
Thank you very much. There's number 2. There's number 2.
Umthomi yamthatha yonke into yami ezayithetha ngoku. Bendizawucela utata upresident akasijongele torho. Hey tata, kunzima eSouth Africa tata. Kunzima tata. Kuthiwa siki freedom.
Igama lakho sisi.
Kodwa okay.
Hello. Igama lakho sisi, please.
Uthetha kufundisa mpande. Kufundisa mpande tata thethayo. Tata, bendizocela kuwe tata, especially kule nto yomsebenzi. Hey, sibethwa kule nto xa kuphuma ipost tata kuthiwe 18 to 35. And kule 1835 tata iyabetha kakhulu ebantwini because after 35 years abantu bazawusebenza phi ta? Bazawusebenza phi where they must apply it after 35 because there is no job after 35. So siyacela tata khayijonge because naseparlamente sithi xa sijonga sifumaniseka kukho abantu abana 60 tata but bayakwazi ungena eparlamente. How come abantu bangakwazi uapply after 35? So siyacela tata siyacela kasijongele tata khawujonge tata ndiphinde tata ndize kule nto tata yesibini yezindlu tata sicela isibhedlele tata torho noba ningajonga in between iGroblershoop ne-Grootdrink sine challenge enkulu sine ambulance eyi-1 eGroblershoop which is isupplier zonke ezandawo oma-Grootdrink oma-Boegoebergie oma-Wegdraai oma-Opwag. So xa ndine-call ndiyokwenza i-call maybe ndize-Upington because si-drive 120 kilos because this between this town there is no cela tata torho khanijongeni nalapho torho noba ningasisa kwi-center isibhedlele and ndicela nekliniki yethu tata ikude for abantu tata ikude kakhulu abantu abanazimali for itaxi abantu abanazitransport tata ikliniki yethu isegqibeleni yetown in Groblershoop and ilokishi yethu is very far from Lentukeni so abantu bayasafara tata kakhulu abantu abadala and iGroblershoop yindawo esokolekayo kuyasolekeleka kakhulu phata so siyacela torho tata khanisijongele nalapho ta. And in a ambulance, into yenzeka why sine shortage ambulance because sine shortage yabasebenzi. Kufuneka dizo driver day and night 120 ta so kanijonge torho ndanicela ta.
Enkosi sisi fundiswa. Here's the next one. Those are the last two from case. Those are the last two from case.
Goeiemiddag aan almal, die president en sy medelede. Ek is Bianca Goliath van Wegdraai. Ek is nie seker of die dierbare ken waar Wegdraai is, maar ja. Bianca Goliath.
Bianca.
Ja. Nou, laat toe, okay. Well, okay, ja. Waar ek eintlik wil begin is ons jeug in die Wegdraai. Wat ek nou vir julle kan sê is, ons jeug, nie een van ons jeug het al vooruit gegaan in alles wat hulle al gedoen het, of wat hulle al gegaan leer het nie. Want die opportunities, soos ek maak 'n voorbeeld van die college hier in Upington. Ons kom van ver af, en wil ons kom aansoek doen, om by colleges in te kom, maar word ons ook nie regtig gehelp nie. Maar ja, ons word nie regtig gehelp nie. En in Wegdraai, ons jeug is, as baie. Ons jeug lek, as klomp probleme nie, in Wegdraai in. Ek wil eintlik net sê, in Wegdraai is probleme nie. In elke plek in, daar is baie probleme. Maar ek wil regtig net die president vra, om net ons jeug te help in Wegdraai en te kom sien, ons dienslewering is baie swak, especially van tuis af. Mense naam nie. Maar ja,
baie dankie, sister. Ons verstaan. Baie dankie.
Okay, ons vra net, alles is net soos 'n ambagskool of net iets, of net vir ons. Ja, dankie.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We've got our last person from case. We've got the last one from case. Head to the blue. Okay.
Good afternoon,
The last
Mr.
one.
President.
No, give over.
My name is Richard Jano Opperman from the Case Municipality District in Ward 2. I got a request and I got a complaint. Our request, I've already gave my name. It is Richard Jano Opperman.
Richard.
My pardon. And it's also a privilege, Mr. Premier, to see you for the first time and have the opportunity, accompanied with the entire cabinet that is present. I got a request which is related to what's renewable energy, to challenge our complaints which we are having generally, not only just domestically and provincially, but nationally, which is unemployment. I am fully aware that there is community trust funds, not only just in the solar environment, but also in the mineral sectors. And it's very disappointed to hear that Postmasburg is experiencing that. And I am also fully aware that the social challenges which we are having, Minister from the Department of Police, Mr. Honorable, Mr. Becky, it's true. We experience it also in Case Municipality that the Department of SAP is working with those foreigners and selling drugs towards our young children, which is the future. And climate change is a real challenge outside there. But it is also opportunities for our people that is working those programs, which is social economical development programs, because we are small, medium enterprises, and our projects are always going out to the other 8 provinces of the Republic of South Africa, and then they work with a currency bill which Nelson Mandela's face is on, away from our province, and it hurts.
Thank you very much.
Our heart and
Thank
our
you
soul.
very much. Baie dankie, Kiani Boka. There's the last one. Here's the last one.
Goeiedag, Mr. President, is Petrus oor in Keis. Petrus oor Keis. Eerste vraag is, Mr. President, wat bly 7 kilo's aan die kant, 9 kilo's aan die kant groter, en ek het met verlede jaar se verkiesing het ek my kop breek gedans, gedraf oor om ANC te wen en ek het. Nou vra ek asseblief president, ons het 'n pad wat moet gedoen word, 'n grondpad wat 3 keer per jaar geskrap word. En onze kinders ry daar op elke dag skool toe. As gevolg daarvan breek die taksies wat hulle skool toe ry. Nou vra ek asseblief kan die pad gedoen word. Dan kom ek, nou, u is ons pa, vader van die huis. Ons bly in riedhuise. Mense raak siek daardeur, die wind waai en baie mense sal dood deur daai riedhuise. So asseblief president, kyk na ons huisomgewings ook. En dan die laaste is, ons het ook erwe. Soos plase, onze diere is al weg. Daar is niks grond wat te kry om onze diere te bevorderen. Die mannen stelen onze eie goed. So help ons daarmee ook verwijding. Baie dankie.
Baie dankie. Ik denk ons het onze vraag gevraagd. Ik wil die mensen aanmoedigen. Die wat nog wil... Luister alsjeblieft. Die mensen wat nog vragen hebben, kom ons gebruik onze WhatsApp-lijn alsjeblieft. Die andere mensen kan naar die tafel toe gaan. Luister net. Ons zal nou eerst een gelegenheid geven, laat ons die vraag antwoord. Ons gaan weer terugkomen met die andere vraag. Ik geef oor voor mijn collega, the Deputy Minister, to continue with the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, MEC. We want to give this opportunity to the President now. Kgatelopele. Okay, can we get Kgatelopele? Can you raise your hands? Kgatelopele. That is 1, 2, 2. Yeah. 3 at the back. 4, 5 there. There, the corner there. Can you all come forward? Number 1, here. Number 1 was here. Number 1, come. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
You
Program.
raised-
Katelopil as a sub-region, part of this ZF Magau district. My name is Jimmy Boysen. I'm residing in Katelopil municipality. I just want to bring my concern before the attention of our president. Where are we coming from? We are situated with mines. And therefore, those mines, as they operate, our people become very ill because of air pollution, because of water decontamination, because of they bring people outside, crime is raiding up. We speak with employers to assist the communities via social labor plan. We see non-commitment of the companies when it comes to social labor plan. As organized labor, from where I'm coming from, we have pushed employer to a point where CCMA must intervene. And CCMA says to us that the issue of social labor plan, Mr. President, does not have a jurisdiction within CCMA. Remember, social labor plan, it comes with section 10 of mining charter, where it deals about the granting and duration of a mining operation. To that process, there are commitments that are made between the mine bosses and the community that are surrounded there. Today, Mr. President, we need your advice to say that organized labor is bringing their part to the level of arbitration, and the CCMA says that its matter is out of their jurisdiction. So where do we have to take this matter? Remember, according to the mining charter, as a community that are around the mining, we're supposed to benefit. We're supposed to get a 5% after every 5 years. And where we are coming from, those mines, 3 of them, 2 open cast and 1 underground, they have been operating more than 50 years of them. But we don't have the fruitful, something that we can see, yes, we are being treated as stakeholders here. So we are asking Mr. President, where should we take this non-compliance of the companies in terms of social labor plan? The other issue is the issue of our ZF district. We are situated just near Kuruman, only 68 kilometers to arrive in Kuruman. Kimberley is almost at 300 kilometers. Now where our district municipality is based is almost 600 to 700 kilometers. So we cannot access the office of a district easily. So we are saying, Mr. President, because our district is so far, we are requesting the possibility of relocating this office district to John Taulo.
Can you round up 2 minutes? Is
From we must fall from John Taulo because it's easier for us to walk there and bring our queries. Yeah, it's very difficult. We don't have money. It's too much kilos to come here. So we did write a letter to the Board of Demarcation. That matter is not being listened to.
Thank you very much. Number 2.
Goedemiddag allemaal. Goedemiddag Mr. President. Ik is Leslie N. Fanny van Daniel Scale. Ik is vanmiddag hier om onze issues te address van Daniel Scale. Ons het baie issues in Daniel Scale. Ik kan een boek schrijven over Daniel Scale's issues. Dat is baie daar en dat is hartverskeurend. Ons het 3 myne in Daniel Scale in. Ons het matrieks wat daar rondloop. hulle verdrink in die drugs in. Want wanneer die poste uitkom, dan was daar is 'n Engelse woord wat sê 2 years experience. Waar gaan 'n matriekkind wat gister die matriek klaar gemaak het experience kry as hy nie gehuur word, laat hy daai experience binnekant die company gaan kry nie. Dis waarom ons jeug so vergaan. Die kleinste kind wat 10 jaar is ook al besig met drugs in Danielskuil in. Die jeug het geen fasiliteite wat hulle mee kan besig hou nie, net om dronk te raak en drugs te gebruik. Ons het ook 'n probleem met ons ambulans. Ons moet eers Upington bel om 'n ambulans te kry. En wanneer 'n ambulans uitkom, dan het die mense al gesterf. Of jy hoor die ambulans is nie daar is die ambulansie. Ek wil vra Mr. President dat Danielskuil sy eie call center kry. Laat ons bel of ons stap tot daar en sê ons kort ambulans. Ons het ook nie polisbakkies daar nie. Ons moet by posman leen as ons nou 'n probleem het en ons soek die polisie. Ons huise word dagliks ingebreek terwille van die drugs. Elke huis in elke straat is daar 'n drug dealer. Ons jong mense verkoop hulle aan die inkomers aan die Nigerians om aan die lewe te bly omdat hulle nie werke kry nie. Ons skool, ons laerskool, daar is 42 kinders in een klas. Mr. President, ons vra asseblief dat Mr. President ons help dat ons nog 'n laerskool kry in Danielskuil.
Last one.
Ons het ook 'n probleem aan behuising. By elke lokasie, soos dit daar in Danielskuil is daar shanties. Daai shanties is onwettig. Die mense vat hulle gaan bou, hulle besluit, hulle gaan bou nou teen die stop. Dan gaan bou hulle shanty daar. Want ons kry nie weer RDP's in Danielskuil nie. Ons kry ook nie weer grond waar ons kan ons shanties gaan bou nie. Nou plak die mense onwettig.
Thank you very much. Number 3. Number 3. Proceed, sis.
Mr. President, bengicela ungibheke. My name is Dinewa Ramil. Excuse me, Mr. President, can you look at me so that we can understand each other? Okay.
Proceed, sis. The president is looking at you. Proceed, the president is looking at you.
Okay, Mr. President, I've been struggling with one thing for the past 9 years. One thing, which is my identity papers for 9 years now.
Your name?
Dinewa Ramila. Okay, Mr. President, up at Home Affairs, I go and I even walk to Home Affairs with my friend. Every single day, they say they're gonna call. They've been calling for the past 9 years. I heard people saying there's no jobs and so on. I see opportunities, I see jobs, but this thing is stopping me from moving forward, which is my identity paper, because you cannot go anywhere without it. I'm not complaining with no jobs. I can see opportunities, I'll go. Identity papers, which is an ID document. I provided papers. They asked for mom's papers, my dad's papers. I provided everything I had, even though I don't know my mom and dad. It's no excuse. I know how to make a life for myself, but how can I make a life for myself if I don't have what I need? So please go to the Home Affairs and speak to them. And by the way, I'm not from Tlhabani or something. I'm from Papalelo, but I took this opportunity because I know no one will listen to me.
You are being very opportunistic. I'm Edson Sabane, number 3. Come in, number 3. Proceed, number 3. Proceed.
Good afternoon, Honorable Premier, Honorable President, and the rest of the Cabinet. My name is Huitsione, surname is Moreki. I am born and bred of Katelopele in Danielskuil from Takalatlo in Ward 1. It's a pity, President, that we came late and we are not given enough time to address heart-burning issues. The previous
Deal with those.
The previous speakers basically, apart from the lady from Pabalelo, has touched base on heart-burning issues. But let me start with this one, Honorable President. The unemployment rate of Tlhagalatlo, Kgatelopele, Daniel Scale, as the municipality, leaves a lot to desire, in a sense that whenever we have to face this, has led to alcohol abuse, drugs and alcohol abuse, basically. In a sense that, you know, we are in a situation in Daniel Scale that we have resorted to drugs, where now drugs becomes business for us as residents. So currently, we sell drugs as residents now because of we see it as inspiral as possible, because of now is the easy way to make money. We have 3 mines surrounding us that has been there for the past, I don't know how long, because if I was born and bred there, I grew up seeing those mines there. What is the criteria of government to make sure that they can fund us as locals to buy in and have ownership within those mines? Because of it cannot be correct for us to have mines, whereas we only preach certain things. We want ownership of those mines. How can we be apart from being laborers? Because of laborers has been there for past years. We are sick and tired. We have the issue of the 3 solar plants. It's a pity yesterday it was not up for questions. The issue of the solar plants there in Groenwater, we need a platform where we can discuss such platforms. You know, Honorable President, let me touch this. I'm not here to campaign for the ANC as a member of the ANC, but I need to bring this to the attention of the Premier and the Honorable President. If the ANC wants to win the upcoming elections locally, so it needs to do better. Why? Because of we've got leadership who are pursuing their own personal interests. Currently we are in coalition partnership with a political party that pursues their interest and campaign with the effort of the ANC. And the cadre deployment has not been practiced to the latter. As we seated here, we have a challenge where the political party we are in coalition partnership with is doing their utmost best to see that the ANC will not win the upcoming elections.
Thank you very much.
And that note is being taken serious.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. No, thank you very much. 2 minutes is gone. I've added even 30 seconds.
I thought it was 10 minutes, Honorable. I need more than that because of, remember the campaigning strategy of the ANC leaves a lot to
2 minutes were done, comrades. Let's get number 4.
We need to address this issue of the ANC in local government,
let's get the
where we are not
platform
taken
to address
serious.
that. Number 4.
The ANC is going to lose votes, leadership, if ever we don't address this matter.
Number 4.
No, it's not from Kgatelopele. They are not from Kgatelopele.
Number 4. 2 minutes, guys. You will follow those ones. No, there was one there with the at the back. Where is he? He didn't come this side. Kgatelopele. There was somebody there. Okay, no, he has disappeared. Can we get the last one? The last one, that side, there's a volunteer. You will speak on their behalf, all of them. 2 minutes.
My name is Cassius Afrikaner. I'm from Kgariep.
I've requested Kgatelopele. No, if there's none, then. No, thank you very much. If there's nobody from Kgatelopele, then it means we're done. We'll then move to the next item. No, I'm done. I don't know which hands is this one. Because some of you have spoken, you want to speak again. You can't abuse the process. Can we agree that we'll now give an opportunity to our president? We'll hand over as the program directors to the president. The president will then drive the last process of ministers and MECs and mayors and everybody else to come to the floor and to respond. Honorable President.
Baie dankie, laat ons neersit. Goeiedag. Sanbonani. Dumelang. Good afternoon. Absheni. Absheni. Demasiari. Demasiari. Baie goed, baie goed. Ek is baie bly om hier te wees. En ek is ook baie bly om die mense van die Noord-Kaap vandag te sien. Julle praat sommer so lekker. En 'n paar van julle word baie emotional and motivated. En 'n paar van julle as julle praat, julle dans ook. And some of you turn around and show us your back so that we can see. En baie van julle is baie mooi. Al die vroumense is baie mooi hier. Maar ek kan nie so sê vir die manne nie. Laat ek begin om dankie sê vir al die mense wat hier gestaan en gespreek. Ek wil ook dankie sê vir ons premier en die hele leierskap van hierdie provinsie. Ek wil ook baie dankie sê vir al die ministers en die adjunct ministers wat hier is. Our mayors who are here, our MECs who are also here, as well as our councillors. Our constitution says that we should not only be a government that is chosen by the people, maar ons moet 'n regering word wat kan luister, wat kan mooi luister. 'n Paar van julle het hier gestaan en gesê, president, kyk my in die oë. En ek het baie mooi geluister. And a young lady came here, she thought I was not looking at her. But I was looking at her in the TV screen. Maar sy wil hê ek moet haar mooi sien. En ek het haar gesien. En baie mooi geluister. We are a government that listens to our people. Ons luister. En baie van al die wat julle gesê het hier has been written down, not only on WhatsApp. I have taken notes. The ministers whom I'm going to call have also taken notes because you have raised important issues. Many issues that are of a concern to you. And as we often say, We are a government that has taken as a policy position that no one must be left behind. Niemand moet achtergelaat worden. And that is what we have decided to do. And of course, when the father of our democracy started off, he said, a better life for all. And yes, we are still basing everything that we do on a better life for all. But we are also saying no one must be left behind. In other words, whatever we do must be inclusive, it must involve our people, and sometimes we don't do as well as we want to because of the challenges that we have. And some of you have touched on all those challenges. The shortage of resources is one of the big challenges, but you've also touched on the very big problems. The unemployment that is very, very big here in the Northern Cape. Want baie van ons mense hier in die Noord-Kaap werk nie. Hulle is werkeloos. Ons weet dit. And we also know this other problem, that the focus has been on targeting those who are 18 and 35. Now, it's now been made clear to us that we cannot just target those who are 18 and 35. We must go beyond 35 as well. That has become very clear to us. And we've started with a program 18 to 35, van baie mense wat nie werk nie, as die jeug van ons land. Up to 64% of those who don't work, as the mense who are between 18 and 35. But at the same time, those who are 36 and above are also unemployed. So they must also be targeted. So our programs for unemployment, therefore, have to touch on everyone so that we don't leave anyone behind. Vandaag, ons het gehoor en ons het ook gesien. And it is for this reason, you see, these Imbizos are this overriding program of the government that ons moet baie mooi gaan luister. Wat ons mense sê, ons moet baie mooi luister. And as we listen, we may not provide answers to everything that has been identified. Ons het antwoorde, maar ons vind dat baie van ons mense have many suggestions en hulle het ook antwoorde. So daarom is dit belangrik vir ons om mooi te luister. Ukuthi size apha phakathi kwenu sizawunimamela. Sizofumana futhi nokuthi ningasicebisa kanjani na. Ngoba nani ninazo impendulo. Kodwa uhulumeni nguye ofana ukuthi aninike impendulo kulobunzima eniphila phansi kwabo. Angithi kunjalo? Bianong ke tlo bitsa matona a sebetsang le nna ba ntse ba mametse sentle ele baya mooi geluister. The ministers and the adjunct ministers wat hier is, ek gaan hulle roep sodat hulle kan antwoorde gee hier en daar op 'n paar van al die dinges wat julle gesê het hier. Ons premier sal ook 'n kans kry om 'n paar van die dinge kan antwoord, because as the leader of our government here, he is alive to many of the issues. What I can say is that yes, there are answers to many of the issues. Some of the answers can be applied immediately. Some will take time. For instance, a lady stood up here and said, the health workers in Gauteng are now being incorporated and now they are being made permanent. That is so in part only. Health workers around the country have been doing a fantastic job, a really fantastic job, and we saw that during COVID, and I was grateful that one of the speakers wat hier gestaan en gesê die regering het baie mooi gewerk durende die COVID tyd, that we did a good job. And I want to thank you for that, because you are not the only one. Even many other people around the world, many countries, say South Africa, managed COVID extremely well for the 2 years that COVID was present. We were amongst the better countries that managed COVID. We brought the deaths down and we were able to vaccinate a lot of people. You can give yourself a round of applause for that. Now, our health workers did a fantastic job during the period of COVID. Many of them worked long hours, and a number of them risked their lives, and some of them got sick, and some of them even passed away. Now, from a World Health Organization point of view, we need to bring more health workers into the health system so that we focus on primary health care. And health workers have shown that they can play a key role. Our major constraint has been our budgetary challenges. Budgetary challenges because the money that we should be deploying to bring in many more health workers has been limited. But we are beginning to see, as our economy is growing, that our revenues are going up a little, and the Minister of Finance will outline all that next week. And as the revenues grow, we will be able to do many more things. So that you know, we are one of those countries that spends more money on education, on health, and on social grants. We are one of those countries in the world that has done quite a lot to look after the welfare of our people. You heard our Premier, die helfte, amper die helfte van die mense wat hier in die Noord-Kaap bly are on social grants. They get social grants, and you don't get that in many countries where nearly half of your population is supported by the government for their livelihood. Is that enough? No, it's not enough, because the costs of living have gone up. Dit is baie duur nou om kos te koop. Dit is baie duur nou om petrol te koop. Elke ding gaan op al die tyd. So we need to do more. But I would like to appreciate the manner in which many of you, and we counted up to 55 people came to ask questions here. In other Imbizos, we only go up to 30. Now here we've had 55 people who've come to ask questions, and ons kan nie almal praat nie. Ons weet dit, ons kan nie almal praat nie, maar ons het 55 mense wat hier opgestaan het and asked questions. And now we appreciate that. I also appreciate the fact that this is one of the best Imbizos that we have had in our Imbizo program. We more or less started on time, and we've done very well in allowing people to come forward and put their questions. I am now going to ask our various ministers who would have listened very carefully on a variety of issues. For instance, I'd like the Minister of Police to come forward, because a number of people spoke about crime. There's a lot of crime here, so that Minister Cele can outline precisely what our approach is on crime. One of my sisters who stood up to speak here said they are now wanting to go and close down a police station because they are unhappy with the way the police station is responding to this issue of crime. And also, many of you have raised the problem of drugs, that there are many people who are selling drugs and many people who are on drugs, who smoke drugs, particularly young people. Just so that he can just give a few issues here and how our police service is also focusing on those key challenges. So Minister Cele will come forward, and thereafter I'll ask another minister who will, where is Minister Cele? Oh, here he is. Come forward, Minister Cele.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I thought there would be not many questions here on crime. When I spoke to Premier said crime is in Kuruman. So I didn't know that there is also crime. Mr. President, we brought the acting national commissioner, because national commissioner has attended the Interpol General Assembly in India. But the deputy national commissioner that is here is responsible for policing. Policing means all police stations in the Republic of South Africa, all vans you see on the road, all police that you see on the uniform, including specialized forces. So all these complaints, Mr. President, did not come to me. They went to the head of the policing. Drugs. There is a member of the community said their community is selling drugs. I will definitely visit them and see how they sell drugs. Because he stood here, I took his name, and he said they sell drugs as a community. So I'll definitely visit them and buy some drugs from them. It can't be allowed, no matter what circumstances could be, for such things to happen. But we do need to be part of them and assist them on that matter. Therefore, Mr. President, as usually has done on the police, we do make follow-ups on this one. So this place was explained as a vast area. Maybe together with the municipality and the provincial government, we'll see which place will be central for us to come and speak back on those matters. But before even we come back, there is this police Stasi. Everybody speaks about is a post-months back. Looks like everybody speaks about. As from Monday, acting national commissioner, or provincial commissioner will have to be there before Wednesday. By the time we come back here, she should have given us a report, because they raised the issue of cars and they raised the issue of personnel and they threatened to close the station down. I want to promise them, when they close the station down, I'll keep them inside and they close the station with them inside. So the best thing not to do is not to close, is for us to work together to make sure that that station works. One thing that is a shortage there are cars. Acting National Commissioner, as we go there, finally party imoto, because we should know how many cars are down. But Mr. President, in terms of the personnel, we don't have the personnel until December 15, when we'll be releasing 10,000 police from the colleges. Those 10,000 is not for Northern Cape, is for the Republic of South Africa, but you'll get your portion. So personnel, December. Cars, 2 weeks to come, you will find those cars. Not everything that will come and agree with. It was not raised here, Mr. President. There is a place called Louisville. Yeah, that one. So they are requesting that we remove the mobile station and we build the rail station. I'm glad that Ma Dilile is here. We'll work together to go and put some examination and find out when can we move there. But there are things that we agree to do to work on building that police station, but there are things that we can't agree with. For instance, you say it should be only your children that work in that police station. It cannot be. Police members are children of the Republic of South Africa. So, indeed, they must get their portion. But it does not follow that if you come from this place, you will come back here, will be deployed anywhere in the Republic of South Africa. But it's important that you get adequate police. And then you said we shouldn't check your children if they don't have criminal records. We can't do that, Emapoisen. We can't agree on that. We'll have to check. There are 6 things that we'll have to do if you are going to be member of the Republic of South Africa. Mr. President, the last point is the point you raised. The management of the police is here. We take South Africans between 18 and 30, not even 35, because you need to be jumpy, you need to be healthy, you need to run, but President talks about up to 35. We may come back to look at that, Mr. President, as it becomes the policy of the country. If you are a member of the South African police, you retire at 60. If we are on ground, we retire at 60. So if we take you at 40, at 50, which means you're going to spend lifetime. Most of the police, as you're young, you don't spend your life inside. You spend your life outdoors. So it's important that you must be healthy, you must be fit, you must be young, you must jump up, you must run around. But as the President says, look at this up to 35, that's what we'll do. But Mr. President, usually we take 3 weeks to come back. We'll still commit to that 3 weeks to come back to this community so that we work on particular and specific issues they've raised. Thanks, Mr. President.
Baie dankie, Minister Tele. Baie dankie. I now want to move on to another issue that was raised quite prominently here. And it was about jobs. Dat baie mense wat hier bly is werkeloos. I'm going to ask Minister Ngesi to come forward and address some of the challenges and how we are going about with regard to jobs and how we are going about addressing some of them, but also to address some of the problems that workers in the mining industry are also confronting here. As there was a complaint even yesterday when we were in Postmansberg about how workers are being treated in one of the facilities that we visited. Minister Ngesi.
Thanks to the President, the ministers, the Premier, the MECs, Mayor and everybody who's here. First of all, with regards to the issue of the mine, which has been mentioned here, we are going to take the details so that we can be able to dispatch our inspectors into that particular mine. But we are going to be working with the inspectorate from the mine and find out exactly what are the issues and why that is happening, and we sit with the employer in trying to deal with those issues. Secondly, it's very important when we deal with this issue of unemployment for us to understand that the job creation is a joint effort between all government departments as well as the private sector. There are various programs which we are having with the private sector as different departments. But as government, there's a program which is known as the Presidential Youth Employment Program, where a number of young people are being taken and employed for a period of 2 years, some extended to 3 years. It's an employment initiative. It also trains some of the young people. It works in the different departments. There is also some programs which we are doing with the private sector. And I want all the young people who want to apply for jobs to go and Google, because most of us are carrying these cell phones, the smartphones. You Google Employment Services of South Africa. That's where, as an individual, you can be able to deposit your CV. And what we will do, once you have deposited your CV, we take that information and match it with the various employers who are looking for people to employ. So if you go and look for ESSA, ESSA, or Employment Services of South Africa, you'll be able to get that. There are various programs there. There's a big program also we're doing with the private sector, which is called Harambe, where we've employed thousands of young people. They are matched into those particular jobs. So it's very important then that you use those initiatives. But over and above that, the President unveiled a program in 2020, which is known as the Economic Recovery and Reconstruction Plan, where we're talking about different sub-programs. The mass public employment programs are party to that. And all those programs which are there, industrialization, because we don't have industries now. We're trying to come to put the industries, we're trying to localize. Other people were talking about the minerals, as much as we do have those minerals, but they are processed outside our own areas, which we call it beneficiation. So all those programs, we're trying to create massive jobs, being led by Minister Delil on the infrastructure, building our roads, building our bridges. We think that we're going to be having a lot of jobs if we work together in terms of those programs. But also, we have various training schemes. There's a very important training scheme which is known as, or is happening under the Labor Activation Program, under the Unemployment Insurance Fund, which is targeting both the young people and those workers who are above 35. And I'm going to request and invite all the mayors here, together with their MMs, to get in touch with us. We can come back in a visit to come and talk about what will be the joint projects which we will do together. And our training, it's not just to give a lot of money and then after 3 months those kids are not employed. We train them and we want them to be placed in the jobs. So I'm inviting all the local municipalities in these areas. I will come with my officials and we talk about the programs they will propose in order to be able to help the young people. But also, we want to say we are also training those who have been retrenched, who have lost jobs in some of the areas. You can see that we have massive employment as a result of the retrenchments. We therefore working together with the Department of Higher Education. We bring the money from LAP, they bring the money from the SETAs, and we retrain and upskill some of the workers and refocus them and give them the new skills so that they are employable in terms of the demand of the labor market. And lastly, Mr. President, I want to talk about the Unemployment Insurance Fund. Given the fact that a lot of people are losing jobs, others are getting injured at work, there has been a complaint about the accessibility of the unemployment or the Unemployment Insurance Fund and even the compensation fund. Unemployment for the workers who want to access the money as a relief during that period they are unemployed. Compensation fund is the workers who get dumped when they are injured. Now, we have started towns into the small dorpies on certain days, and we make the announcement in the radios so that on that particular day, the people are able to come and they are helped. And maybe again after 2 weeks or after a month, we come back so that those services are accessible to our people. And I want to repeat as I leave this platform, the mayors, the MMs who are here, we are requesting that you call us, we will be ready to come back and sit down and have possible schemes which we can run together. And then we think that they will be able to help a number of young people in creating the jobs. But there's a lot which is happening in the big programs which are led by the President. Thank you.
Baie dankie Minister Ngesi. 'n Paar van die mense wat hier gepraat het, die topic van grond oorgepraat. Particularly in saying onze mense het nie grond nie. En onze mense wil grond kry. But one of them then said, a lot of the land also here in the Northern Cape is owned by the Department of Public Works. I'm now going to ask Minister Patricia de Lille om voor te kom, om ons verduidelik wat gebeur hier.
President praat mooi Afrikaans, né? Premier het hom mooi geleer. President, dankie vir die geleentheid inmiddag aan al die goeie mense, die mooi mense van hierdie distrik. Dit is so dat baie mense het gepraat oor die grond. Meneer die President, ek dink ek moet terugkom. Want die grond, en sekere grond behoort aan die provinsie, en sekere grond behoort aan die munisipaliteite. Dit is waar dat daar is baie groot stukke oop grond hier in die Noord-Kaap. En dat elke een van die vlakke van regering moet kom sê vir die mense wat het hulle op hulle landregister wat daar geregistreer is. Sodat ons mense kan aansoek doen. Ek weet byvoorbeeld, hier langs die Oranje rivier, is daar nog 'n paar plotte wat behoort aan publieke werke. En ons kan bespreek met die minister van Landbou hoe ons daardie plotte beskikbaar maak. So ons moet definitief terugkom en 'n grondsummit kom hou, laat ons vir die mense kan sê wat behoort aan die regering en hoe mense kan toegang kry tot daardie grond. So ons sal definitely terugkom, ek sal praat met die premier en ons kan daardie summit reël so gou as moontlik. Die president het ook gepraat van die ouderdom van 35. Dit is so dat die EPWP ouderdom beperking is 35. Maar alreeds 'n maand gelede in die kabinetsligotla as ek gevra om daardie ouderdom te hersien en om dit weg te haal sodat baie meer mense kan werk vind by EPWP. So ek moet dan 'n verslag vat aan die kabinet, maar ons is besig om die beleid te hersien om seker te maak dat ons nie baie mense uitskakel nie. Die laaste punt, president, is dat gister was ons in Keimus. Ons het begin die beplanning en die tender gaan uit die einde van November om 'n nuwe hof te bou daar. Net langs aan die polisiestasie. Maar die mense van Keimus en daardie distrik, julle moet betrokke wees by daardie projek. Ek het gister gevra dat daar moet 'n projeksteringkomitee gestig word, sodat publieke werke, public works kan gereeld skakel en vir die mense sê, wat is die voordele in daardie tender vir hulle? Hoeveel werke gaan gegee word aan plaaslike gemeenskappe en plaaslike besighede? So ons het al ons eerste social facilitation gehad, maar ons wag nou vir die mense van Kymoets om daardie komitee te stig so gou as moontlik. Maar onthou as jy gekies word op die komitee om jou organisasie te verteenwoordig, jy moet ook terugvoering gaan gee aan enige organisasie wat jy aan behoort. Want jy kom nie daar om jy jackets te kom verteenwoordig, en jy kom daar om die mense te verteenwoordig. So, ons moet seker maak dat die mense in Kymoes munisipaliteit altyd die waarheid weet en wat is die voordele vir al die mense daar. Maar daar is te veel grondeise wat ook nog uitstaande is. En as ons daar die summit het, dan kan ons ook praat oor die uitstaande grondeise wat daar nog is. Want baie van ons mense gaan dood terwyl hulle wag vir die grond om terug te kom. Baie dankie.
The land for the request, and going, so that was meant the son and the boy mutni was 8 landers full. But there is a word that is 8 landers. Niemand hier in Zuid-Afrika wat 'n Suid-Afrikaner is, moet voel dat hulle is uitlanders. We are all South Africans. And I'm very pleased, Minister, to hear that there must be pieces of land along the Orange River. Last night I slept in a hotel which borders on the Orange River. Dat is 'n baie mooi rivier daardie. En ons moet sorg dat ons mense ook kan iets kry van die land wat naby die rivier is. Like all others who have been benefiting over the years. So ons moet dit doen. Now, one of the things that was also raised had to do with schools, basic education. Ek gaan nou vra vir Minister Motshega om voor te kom om met skole kan praat. Minister Motshega.
Thank you very much, President, and good afternoon to all the members here. President, the main question was really around special schools, which was a very emotional one. And if we have to recall, the NDP instructs us to have an inclusive education which leaves no one behind. And I'll be the first to admit, President, that that is one area that we are not where we should be. And that's why the presentation was this emotional, because it is a major problem. In 2018, I even declared 2018 a year of special education because there are major challenges. And early this year, I convened a national conference to assess our progress in the past 3 years since 2018. And amongst other things we picked up, President, was that indeed we have made lots of progress from where we are, but major challenges remain. But what is also very helpful that after 2018, Treasury started allocating money for us to deal with special education. But other things that came from that, the January Lekgotla, it's a question of skills around the area of special education, because it's not an area that we had developed very well as a country. So there were the shortages of skills for people to deal with special education. We have very few teachers who can sign language. We have very few teachers who can really deal with all sorts of disabilities and even the serious ones. But the advantage is that we have a budget. But what also came, which is another area of underspending, because whilst we assessed and have the resources, our plans were, in some provinces, were not picking up very well because of those legacies. And that's why the lady who spoke here said she could only find a child a place in Cape Town. Because the only provinces that are able to cope, it's Gauteng and Western Cape. And simply because historically they've always had schools for special education, especially with serious disabilities. So what, based also on, because as you could see, President, it's a very emotional subject for parents because it brings enormous pains to families. I'm going to speak with my colleagues that when we go to cabinet, I think because we have the money, the problem is that we're even underspending because the other provinces are not able to put quickly the programs that needs to be put in place because of skills, resources, and all sorts of things. And I'll speak with my colleague here, the MEC, that I think when we go back to CEM, it's to request to make a proposal to Treasury that they allow us to redesign our financial plan so that children who come from Northern Cape, if they find space in the Western Cape or Gauteng, they can be subsidized by their provinces, because those provinces will be unable to subsidize them if their home provinces are not paying. So I think it's something we have to do, because these other provinces continue to underspend because there's no capacity and the problem is huge. So I thought we'll deal with that, and I think MEC Monakali will support me on that one. But we'll continue to monitor and admit that it's an area of great concern, and it's an area, President, to report myself to yourself, that it's an area we're struggling. We're not performing at the level we should be performing. There was also information about, and I think that's advice, what we should do with boarding schools. And I don't think we can really say, yes, indeed, when schools close, we will not ask kids to go home. It really is a logistic issue. We note it as a matter that we'll discuss. There was also a point about aftercare, and I was whispering to Minister Zulu that ourselves actually need those aftercare programs, so that when kids leave school, there are receiving centers where they can do all sorts of things, which we have to run together. They can do reading, they can do homeworks, they can do sports, they can do arts, and it will be very helpful to support that initiative that the lady has raised. But it's something that we should run with social development, we should run also with sports, we should run also with the Department of Arts, and that we are taking. The other issue around let me leave the personal story, President. I'll come back to it after. Just as a side, you see this young chap who's sitting in front of the President. When I came here, I saw all these young ones, under 10. I said, my children, this time of the day, we're here with you. What do you want? They said, Minister, we'll go to school on Monday. Today we're coming to see the President. It will never happen in our lives that we see the President. And this one has been standing here to say, the police won't allow me to come forward. Just quickly take a picture so that I come out with the President. So those people here, President, their shop steward said, please don't chase us. It will never happen in our time that we are with the President at the same place. And I really felt that I should leave them. As I closed, also about job opportunities, without promising people, I think it's and we've been doing road shows as a Department of Basic Education. We've inherited ECD from social development, and it's another huge area of growth, President. More than 5 million children are outside the net. So which means we have to train thousands of young people. So I hear the story about matriculants. But our starting point is people should not come if they don't want to teach or to be with children. And in the sector, we are saying to be on PESAL. It takes 4 years training. You can't be on PESAL in education if you don't have 4 years training. So those matriculants should prepare themselves to be ECD practitioners with 4 years training in all economies that beat us in education. They are ECD practitioners, are the most educated and have been trained longer than even high school teachers. So there's going to be a huge opportunity, and we'll be recruiting those young matriculants. But please, if you don't like children, don't waste time. It's going to frustrate you. But there's another area of huge potential for job creation. So, President, those are the ones that I picked up really around special education and aftercare programs for reading. So those are the ones. I hope I've not missed anything.
Now I want your shop stewards to come to the stage. Come. Nou, hierdie is die laaste dag wat jy nie skool toe gaan nie. Jy het nou die president gesien, maar op maandag, waar gaan jy? Skool toe. Baie goed, baie goed. Thank you very much. One of the very good programs we are proud of is the Presidential Employment Stimulus Program. That in the past 2 years, particularly during COVID, led to the employment of some 800,000 people who worked, 600,000 who worked in our schools. And if Minister Mutsecha had time, she would have spoken about it, how well it was executed. And Northern Cape also benefited from this program because a paar eintlik al julle skole het hierdie jong mense gekry who were assistants and who were able to do all sorts of work, including IT work and so forth. One of the great endowments that julle had here in Noord-Kaap is Ministerial. You have minerals, and you've got minerals from iron ore to manganese, to copper, and many others. Now, one of the things that we've been hearing is the complaint against, yes, the ownership of minerals. I'm going to ask Dr. Nobuhle Nkabane, who is the Deputy Minister of Minerals and Energy, just to come and explain this program of ownership that we have in the mines in our country. As you come up, Deputy Minister, as you come up, one of the places I visited yesterday was Redstone, which is in Postmansberg. Now, the community is going to be a beneficial owner of a sizable ownership of the facility where we are already generating renewable energy. And indeed, in a number of other facilities, our communities and black entrepreneurs And this is being done in the light of our policy of black economic empowerment, broad-based black economic empowerment, to allow our communities to benefit from this. Now, this was raised, and the Deputy Minister, who works with Minister Mantashe, will just touch on this and how we are enforcing these laws. Deputy Minister.
No, thank you so much, Mr. President. I'm going to greet the community of Upington. I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing the area correctly. It's Upington, yes. Yeah. Maybe in terms of ensuring that we ensure that our people benefit in terms of the mining activities that take place in their areas. It comes a very long way. As you know that it started around 1955 during the Freedom Charter, where there is a clause that says, all minerals beneath the soil shall belong to the people as a whole. Then, as part of our transformation agenda as the African National Congress and the government in South Africa, we took a stance of ensuring that we enact laws that are going to be responsive to the needs of our communities, in particular where there are mining activities that are taking place. So what we have done, we drafted a law which is called MPRDA, which is responsive to the needs of our communities. There is also another one, which is the Mining Charter. Although we believe that there are some issues, some are taking it to the courts because they are challenging the interpretation and analysis of the charter, because they want to understand whether is it a regulation or a law. So we are still busy processing those processes in terms of the interpretation of the mining charter. But basically, social and labor plan projects are trying to respond to the needs of our communities in ensuring that they do benefit. Where there are mining activities taking place, the mining company has a responsibility to make sure that our communities, they benefit, either through projects that are implemented in the community or either through bursaries. There are also royalties that our traditional authorities benefit out of it. We also have inspectors within the department and the regional offices in each and every province, where they go around ensuring that there is compliance with the mining charter, because it is the obligation of the mining permit that our people must benefit through the social and labor plan projects. But there are also other programs that we are embarking on. For instance, in the Northwest, we have started a program of the Women Diggers program, where women are then roped into the mining activities, the entire value chain. Here in Kuruman, we have started another project where we are busy training about 40 women to make sure that they also form part of the entire value chain of the mining activities. We are working closely with our entities, the Council for Geoscience, as well as Mintech, in ensuring that they get trainings in terms of entrepreneurship as well as small-scale mining. If you have further questions that you need to understand, we do have our area manager here, Mr. Ndlelentle Zindela, who is responsible for this area. He is a very competent man who is going to assist you and take you through the processes on how do you go about for you to be able to access a mining permit. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Wonderful, well done. Well done. Thank you. We are now going to move a little faster. I'm going to want Minister Kubai to come and address the issue of houses. Now, in talking to the Premier, the Northern Cape has a shortage, a shortfall of 80,000 units of houses. Now, that has to be addressed. And that is what the Premier is most concerned about, because he sees a proliferation of informal settlements in a number of places. And wherever one goes, we hear the same concern about houses and people having a shortage of houses. So I'd like the Minister to address this, but also to address the other issue that came up. There was one of my sisters who came up and spoke about women in construction, so that we also touch on the issue, the challenges, the probleme vateleno in the construction industry. Minister, please, let's touch on that, and thereafter we'll touch on 2 or 3 other issues, and then we'll ask the Premier to round off, and then I'll close.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me first acknowledge the challenge in Northern Cape, specifically in the allocation. It's more around the challenge of equitable share. On human settlements, Northern Cape gets the least in terms of the funds. We've been working together with National Treasury to try and see how best can we respond to the baseline allocation. So we're still in the process. We're not yet done, but conversations are continuing. One of the things that we took as a decision was that Northern Cape will be utilized as a pilot for the front loading that the Minister of Finance had already talked about. I've asked the team, Mr. President, to talk to SAWIC, because we, as the Department of Human Settlements, we've launched all SAWIC chapters across provinces, including here in the Northern Cape. So I want to understand, I've asked the MEC, none of us are not sure why our colleague was saying they are not recognized. Perhaps it's in terms of allocation, because in other provinces you might find that they are allocated specific recognition in terms of projects, but we'll take it up, because in terms of their launching, it has been done. In terms of their structure in the province, it has been done. Mr. President, the other issue that was raised was around illegal occupation of land. We have checked our records. In terms of ZW district, we don't have illegal occupations that are on record, but we've asked for records to check. We know the district that we have a bit of a challenge is around Kimberley, so we are dealing with that. But in this district, when we checked our records, we don't have that much. On service sites, quite a number of communities raised challenges around allocation of houses and service sites. Mr. President, we have several projects that we are working on, maybe just to indicate to the communities. We have a KMOS project in Kamako project. It's now at 1,541 residential sites. It's in progress, under constructions currently. In 8COMS, 748 projects. We have 748 residential sites that are currently under construction, almost done. This will be sites that are given to communities. In Groblershoop, it's 1,539 residential stands that are given. This is a project in that area. In Smarties, 328 residential stands that are located there. In Dakota, we've got 409 residential stands where houses will be built. In Jahans Stadium, 128 residential areas that are allocated with projects for houses. In Pabalelo, Makweta Valley, we've got 503 residential sites in that area. Another Pabalelo project is Pabalelo North East, with 990 project sites, a residential area. The other one is in Rosedale 400 project, which has 400 residential stands. Rosedale 438 is another site with 438 residential stands. Rosedale 452 projects. These are other area. In Pabalelo as well, we have another one, which is almost around 881 sites. This will be built. Some of them will be, first we are giving residential sites with service sites. This will be with bulk infrastructure, water, which is water, sanitation, and electricity. And then as we go along, as we're looking for more budget allocation, then we'll be able to provide for houses. The other issue that was raised, it's around military veterans. We have 15 military veterans that have been approved currently by the National Department of Military Veterans and Defense. Out of these 15, 10 of them are in this district and 5 of them are in another district. We can only allocate, Mr. President, and communities military veterans houses once they've been verified and approved by the National Department of Defense and Military Veterans. So we work on that. We previously had a challenge in the province. When I was here, we met with the Premier together and the MEC first with the military veterans, and we agreed on a process. In the district, Pixley, for example, we did rectify and started allocating. So the work around military veterans allocation of houses, we currently underway as the department, and we on track. The only slack is that sometimes we find military veterans that are saying we don't houses, only to find they are not yet verified by the Department of Defense and Military Veterans, and we can't allocate those houses. Mr. President, in Kangeni, Larry raised the issue. This area, for example, lacks in terms of bulk infrastructure, and what has been done is that, and the national team was there this week, 90% of the planning has been done in this township. We've completed. We are waiting for the district tribunal to finalize the work so that the process of declaration of a township can be done, and this will allow for services to be put in, especially permanent services. In Kai Kharib, the work that has been done, it's around service site. This is one of the areas as well. The province Coxstar has assisted the Kai Kharib municipality to apply for MIC, while there are shortages that we have from the human settlement side. Once that has been approved, services will be put. I must say, Mr. President, again, I think it's Amanda from Postin, Ward 3. I think it's also around the issue of Satsabani local municipality. We are confirming that we are waiting for finalization of plans so that we can implement. We will pay attention to 2 municipalities specifically, Mr. President, which is K municipality and Kai Kharib, because it does need us to come forward with more resources. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Baie dankie, minister. Nou, ons wil hê ons moet praat oor die geleenthede wat hierdie provinsie het, particularly in relation met al die wonderlike dinge of goed wat julle het hier in hierdie provinsie. Julle het die son, julle het die wind, en julle het ook hydrogen, die hydrogen nuwe sektor van onze economie. Ek gaan nou vra vir minister Barbara Creasy om voor te kom, om bietjie kom praat oor hierdie nuwe geleenthede wat ons het. Because, come forward, minister, as I speak. Want this is the new sector that is opening up. Now the Premier will give you the figures because he's got the figures on his fingertips. I just want Minister Creasy, who is the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, just to talk a little bit about these great opportunities. Die wonderlijke geleenthede wat ons het in hierdie provinsie. with regard to the sonkracht, the wind, and hydrogen, and the opportunities that people talk about in Bokubai, which is going to generate a great deal of growth in this province.
Mr. President, one of the question, what are we doing about the poor air quality in the mining areas? And we did receive this complaint about the poor air quality at Gatelopele local municipality and also Tsansabani local municipality. So 2 weeks ago, Mr. President, we went to Dwala mine in Daniel Scale, and we also went to the Kolomela mine in Postmasburg. Both of those mines have agreed to finance an air quality monitoring station. That air quality monitoring station, Mr. President, will give figures to the mine to say whether they are exceeding the air quality standards and whether or not the emissions that are coming from the mine are damaging to human health. So once those stations are built, Mr. President, we will work together with the local municipality to monitor the emissions and to make sure that the air quality that is coming out of those mines is not damaging to the communities that live there. On the hydrogen, our country and the rest of the world are gradually moving away from using coal to generate electricity to using sunshine. Now, South Africa is one of the top 10 sunniest countries in the world. And what that means is that here in the Northern Cape, the future to power ships and to power airplanes. And the Premier will tell you about the partnership that exists in Bokubai. But the important thing that we want everybody here to understand is that we are working with the Northern Cape to find something that can change this problem of werkloosheid that everybody spoke about, and can find something that can use the natural, God-given environment to create work and to fight poverty here. Let me pause them, Mr. President, and we can ask Premier Saul to give the details of the Bokubai project. Thank you.
hierdie projekte investments bring and in fact, as we look now, almost 200 billion has been invested in our renewable program. And 60% of that has come here in Northern Cape. And much more of jobs. In the Northern Cape, honestly, in relation to many other provinces. The Northern Cape is a big target for big investments that are going to come. I was in Saudi Arabia with a number of ministers already, and some of the companies that are seeing the opportunities here in the Northern Cape with regard to solar, with regard to renewables and green hydrogen, want to come to no other place other than the Northern Cape. And I hope you are all ready for the investments that are going to keep coming here. Now, very quickly, there were quite a number of social issues that were raised, Minister Zulu, and I'd like you to come and very quickly address and touch on some of those issues as quickly as we can. I want to move forward because we've been here since just after 10, and I'll call on one or two others. The issue of military veterans, which I was going to ask Minister Kumbele to address, was touched on earlier by Minister Dubai, so you are good relief there. And then I'm going to go to the agriculture part, and I'm going to ask the CTA, so that we don't waste time. Okay, you will come up later. Minister Didiza, and I'm going to ask on the issue of small and medium enterprises, because we've got to open opportunities for our people, and I saw it yesterday in Postmaster, because a number of the community people had wanted to see me, because they wanted to raise the issue of how small and medium enterprises can participate in the big projects that are already taking place in our province. And that is precisely what we want to support. So support our people as they get into business opportunities that are being opened by these big billion investments. So Minister Abraham forward. Who's behind Minister? Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Maybe I should start by indicating we have a visit yesterday to some homes. Also will be able to follow on the issues that have been raised here. But I do, Mr. President, without necessarily having to answer all the questions that were raised here, I'd like to indicate it's a pity you did not get a chance to go to any of the communities, because one of the things that I found in Upington, but in Northern Cape in general, the communities are very organized, their townships are very neat, they are very clean, they plant beautiful flowers, they have little gardens where they plant flowers. I was saying to the MEC of Agriculture, we should maybe try and balance between the flowers that are beautiful they're planting and give them seeds to make sure that they can also have gardens, so that within the flowers they can produce the carrots and cabbages and all. The issue of drugs, Mr. President, every year, since I've been a Minister of Social Development, in November we are always here because we combine issues of gender-based violence and femicide, as well as the issue of drugs, but also human trafficking, because this province is one of those provinces that is suffering from human trafficking. So we do come back, we will come back again and do the programs that we normally have, and people attend to those programs. With regard to the, I raised another issue with Minister Mutshega, that as the Department of Social Development, we have the community, the CNDCs we call them. Children come out of school and they go to those centers. And in those centers, they are fed before they go home. In some of the centers, actually, they go to the center in the morning before they go to school. I'm now saying to Minister Mutshega and myself, we must look at other services that we can do, like them being able to do their homeworks in the schools and be monitored. But obviously, the challenge is getting the teachers there and getting the social workers there. Overall, there is also the issue of the NGOs who are supposed to receive funding from the Department of Social Development. Here is fact, Mr. President. Many of them do not comply. And there's one thing that we will not be able to do is to give financial resources to people who are not complying, because we are expected to comply taxpayers' money, and we want the community to explain. Lastly, Mr. President, we have a problem of teenage pregnancy. It is a shame, and some parents even keep quiet about it. With children at the age of 11, 12, 13 having children. What kind of a man makes an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old pregnant? And if communities think it's only government that can deal with this, it's a big mistake. This is a societal problem. All the communities must talk about it. The nurses in the clinics, they see these children coming, they check on them for antenatal, but they don't report to anybody. I believe this is one thing that the community needs to deal with. All these things cannot be dealt with by government alone. Everybody has to stand up and support.
Thank you, Minister. Come forward, please.
Mr. President, Premier and Mayor, as well as my colleagues.
sector. We're not looking at. We know the beauty minister that mining licenses or permits, but there's no business development support that is provided to small scale miners. We therefore committed that we will help in terms of funds, exploration of those that we believe that would have given our people a way into participating in the and where we are working with say opportunities that are here for prospering, providing both business development support and everything requires money within our small businesses. Realizing that we don't have enough pocket to provide the small businesses with the funding we need, we then agreed that we're engaging the big corporates that are investing in this province to make sure that they provide some space through the ESD funds that are there in order to make sure that we can make whatever funds that we have as part of the 3% towards this province, and we as those small businesses that were complaining that they are mining this year but not other excluded. Now if we join hands with the ESD funds, we are going to take the local in the informal sector. 78 small businesses, and this is what we've been doing throughout the process, Mr. President. But we are concerned, Premier, as we have said yesterday. In all the monies that we are distributing, Northern Cape from 2018 to date has only managed to get about 88 billion rand that we have approved through SIVA, and out of that to the country in terms of declaring the profits. I know that one is too difficult. People like hiding from the taxman. But it's for your own good that when we introduce certain schemes, you are able to benefit and also have an opportunity to participate in the businesses that we do, because SARS must be paid. As I say that, Mr. President, one of the red tape issues that has been highlighted is the fact that small businesses have to be running around all the time. For them to fill in the tender document in the municipality, they need to go to SARS, they need the bank certificates, they need to add an act, Mr. President, and this is why we said we are developing.
Goeiemorgen. Nou is goeiemiddag. En de president heeft me nou gezegd dat de mensen van de Noordkap is krachtig. Hulle sit hier van vanoggend af, dus amper als paar minuten oor 3 nou. En die mensen sit nog hier. En ik zei voor de president dat hij kan zitten tot 12 uur in de avond. Want er is grote uitdagings en problemen hier in de Noordkap. Maar zoals ik geluisterd heb, en ik wil net voor de mensen verduidelijken wat die proces is. Daar is klomp goede wat u hulle genoemd hebt. Maar die proces is allemaal wat gepraat het. De meeste van die mensen het niet voor zichzelf gepraat, hulle het voor de gemeenschap gepraat. Waar hulle vandaan kom. En nadat hulle gepraat het, hulle het naar een tafel toe gegaan wat iewers daar is. Die ding gesê, hulle is 'n adres gevat en al die type goede. Op al die goede wat u hulle genoem het, daar sal 'n opvolging wees. Op alles. En ons het hier onze ministers en adjunct ministers wat ook antwoorde gegee op paar van die goede wat u hulle genoem het. Ek dink dit is nou baie belangrik. En ek is seker ons almal is bly om van vanoggend af hier te sit tot nou saam met die president en leerders van sy kabinet. Maar paar goede wat genoem was, wat ek wil hê graag. Ek moet ook benoem, is die feit dat vir die finansiële jaar het ons as die provinsie 185 miljoen rand ontvang voor de Presidential Youth Employment Initiative. En zoals ons praat, daar 7000 jong mensen wat deel is van die program. Dit is in die gang. En dat is een Presidential Youth Employment Initiative. Kan ons voor die president een lekker handen klap geven. Dat is die program van die president, waar daar, zoals ons praat, 7000 jong mensen nou in werksgeleenthede is. Hier in die Noordkap net, maar dit is een nationale program. Maar hier in die Noordkap, ons het 7000 jong kinders wat deelneem in die program. So daar is paar ander goede wat u hulle genoem het, iets soos misdaad en dwelmsgebruik. Ek dink daar is nou heel wat groot probleme vir jong mense in onze provincie. En ons het ook antwoorde gekry van onze minister van die polisie. Dat beteken nou ons sal meer polities op die grond sien in die Noord-Kaap. En polities wat nie geld vat nie. Wat die geld vat van criminele af nie. En dis wat ons nou regtig soek. Wat hulle se werk sal doen en seker maak dat ons bekaap misdaad en dwelmsgebruik hier in onze provincie. Daar's iets wat die dame genoem het vandag rondom die community health workers, gemeenskap, gesondheidswerkers. Sy sit iewers daar. Ja, daar dame. In die provincie ons het 2300 van hulle. En ek het nou saam met die LER gepraat hier. Hy sê toe hy inkom as die LER amper 2 jaar gelede toe het hy die probleem daar gekry. Die probleem is nasionaal net soos die president gesê het. Daar is net een provincie wat hulle permanent opgeneem het op hulle stelsel en ons moet kyk wat sal nasionaal vir ons sê rondom dit. Want om hulle almal permanent op te neem, dit kom met koste. En ons moet geld kry om dit te kan doen. Maar die vraag van grond was geantwoord en ek dink soos Angie die ding rondom spesiale skole. Dit begin nou 'n groot probleem raak vir die Noord-Kaap. Elke jaar, begin van die jaar, daar's ouers wat vra rondom dit. En ons is baie bly dat u gesê het, tesame met die LER hier in die provincie, julle sal aan iets werk. Maar dit is nou regtig 'n probleem en vernaam vir ouers wat gestremde kinders het. Dit is 'n hartseer storie en ons moet iets doen rondom dit. En rondom die klein besighede hier in die Noord-Kaap, ondersteuning vir die klein besighede, dit is baie belangrik. En die meeste van die klein besighede is onze mense wat die geld het nie. Wat om seker te maak dat ons sal die probleem oplos en vir hulle die nodige ondersteuning gee. Al die dorpe in die provincie wat myne het, daar's groot probleme daar. En ons het die insa gehoor van die adjunct minister van myne. Daar's altyd probleme daar. Ek dink ons moet tyd maak om te probeer om die probleme op te los. Van in meeste gevalle al die dorpe wat myne het, sonplase het en al die ander groot besighede. Die armoede is hoog in die dorpe. Baie min gebeur om ons mense en gemeenskappe te ontwikkel. So dis probleme wat ons moet vaskyk en met 'n oplossing kom, laat ons mense se lewensstandaarde kan verbeter. Maar president, daar was klomp goede wat genoem was en ek is seker dat die mense van ZFM weet dat ons sal hard probeer om al die probleme op te los. Maar ek wil sê dat daar was orde en discipline vandag. Daar was orde en discipline vandag. En ons was baie dankbaar vir dit. Ons is dankbaar vir dit. Met die uitdagings wat daar is. Toe ek saam met die president gepraat het, ek het saam met die president Karoo Afrikaans gepraat. Ek sê president, jy is in die Kalahari, maar ek sal saam met jou Karoo Afrikaans praat. Ek sê die mense is baie kwaad. En as jy baie kwaad is, dan sê jy, ek is vies. Dat is so nie. Ek is vies. As jy baie kwaad is, dan sê jy is vies. So ek sê Carlos noemt dat bier. En weet hier in die Kalahari, julle sê bedonderd. Ja, ek sê vir die president, die is bietjie bedieer, die mense hier, bietjie bedieer. Afrikaans. Karoo Afrikaans, die ene van die Kalahari. So die mense is baie bedonderd. Dink ek, jong, waarom of vergadering daar wees. En ek sê vir die president, as 'n ander vergadering wat ek hierby gewoon het. Toen staan 'n ander tannie hier by die op die deur. Hy sê vir my, weet jy wat, premier, as ek so bedonderd is, dan voel ek om 'n man te moe sommer. So daarom vandag ons het dit nie gekry nie. En kan julle self lekker aan 'n klap gee verder. Ek dink ons het 'n goeie tyd hier gehad. Ons het 'n goeie tyd hier gehad en ons is almal hier omdat ons julle respekteer. Dis die rede hoekom ons almal hier is. En ons is almal hier want ons weet ons taak is om julle te bedien. Dat is so nie. Soos ons hier sê, dit is nie verniet nie. Dit is nie verniet nie. Ons moet terugkom en vir u antwoorde gee. En nie net antwoorde gee nie, en nie net antwoorde gee nie. Ons moet verandering in u hulle se lewens bring. Dis wat ons moet doen. So met daai paar woorde, baie dankie dat u hulle so ordentlike groep was vir die vergadering en ons is baie trots op u hulle. Baie dankie.
Hierdie man is baie lang. Baie dankie, premier. Julle mense hier in die Noord-Kaap, julle is baie gelukkig. Julle het 'n premier wat baie hard werk, wat baie slim is, wat baie geleerde is. Hy doen sy werk baie mooi. Ek is baie bly om 'n premier. Ek is baie bly, ons het 'n baie goed Imbizo gehad. Daarom het ek gesê dat dit is die beste Imbizo wat ons nog gehou het. Baie dankie. En ek wil ook sê dat ons het baie probleme in die land. Maar die Noord-Kaap het groot geld. Ons sien die groot potentiaal. En ek wil net sê dat almal van ons moet saamwerk om hierdie potentiaal to make it happen. It is a potential that is out there, and I can count a number of the sectors of your economy. You have 300 kilometers of sea line. En de tourism, die toeristen, die baie bezoekers wat nou hier komen, to come and look at your woestijn, the desert, en they come kijk aan die blomme, they come to look at the Orange River, and the great opportunities and the animals that you have here. The potential is great. Now, we're talking about, as Minister Chrissy said, hydrogen, we're looking at the minerale wat julle het hier. Iron ore, titanium, manganese, copper, many others. And that lends itself to great opportunities. And this is one province rather, where I'm absolutely certain we are going to see continued investments flowing in, where we are going to see our government also beginning to focus on new ways of doing things. For instance, we need to build more schools here. And we've been talking to the Department of Treasury that one of the things that we should start doing is to be forward-looking and be able to plan forward and be able to finance the schools that should be built now and project the funding into the future. Similarly, we should do that with housing as well. So these are wonderful experiments that we want to put in place here in the Northern Cape, and we will do it. I want to end by extending my gratitude to all of you at Belnese Bayadanki that you participated in this Imbizo in a disciplined, dedicated, and patient manner in which you've all participated. None of you has moved out. None of you has performed in a way that could disrupt the Imbizo and ons weet dat ons het baie probleme ook hier. But I will say that you were able to present your problems, your challenges in a very dignified manner. Baie dankie vir dat. En ek wil graag baie dankie sê vir al die staatsamptenare, those who have helped to prepare for this Imbizo. I want to say thank you, because as our officials, soos ons amptenare, julle het baie hard gewerk, en ons sê baie dankie vir al die werk wat julle gedoen het. En ek wil ook baie dankie sê vir al onze politie. The police who've been here, they've been there at the distance, but they've made sure that our Imbizo also works well. En ek wil ook baie dankie sê vir onze voorsitters, wat baie mooi gewerk om hierdie Imbizo mooi te hanteer. And baie dankie to all the ministers, the deputy ministers, the mayors who've been here, MECs, and all man van julle. Julle is baie belangrik, en baie dankie. Thank you very much.